Hello there and welcome to this short video on Office 365 and information protection. And in this short video I want to talk to you about site classifications. Site classifications as they can be used within Teams, SharePoint Online and Office groups. And to be very honest, site classifications rather have been around for at least a couple of years now. You could configure them using PowerShell and you could set them on a site collection. In the end they would show up at the top bar of a site, enabling your users to see the classification of a site, but on the functionality bit they were lacking. They didn't really do anything. But now with the new sensitivity labels and the integration with Office Online, we really get to have some more information protection capabilities directly related to those labels. And that's the starting point as well for site classifications, because you don't have to configure them using PowerShell anymore, although you still can if you want to, but they are really related to your labels. And your labels, and everyone should know that already, can be found at the protection or the compliance dashboard of Microsoft 365, and here they are. So let's take a look, shall we? Okay, well, here we have our labels, and I'll just show you the site classifications in action. So I have two labels I want to show you for that. First of all, over here I've got a Teams Confidential label, and that label has been configured just to allow limited web-only access. That means that if a user will try to open this site using an unmanaged device, there will only be web-only access. You cannot download any documents, there's no integration with Office, you cannot print any information. So let's take a look at that in a couple of seconds. That's the Teams Confidential. I also have a demo label over here, and if I look at the label over here, it says block access. So this is my label, which if you try to go to this site using an unmanaged device, then this site should be blocked from access. Okay, just to give you a short example of how that looks when you create a label, let's say I'm going to do this like webinar label, a description. I'm a bit lazy, so I'll just keep it at that. I won't do any encryption, because that's one of the neat things of this functionality, is that you can use the encryption as well within your documents and in your auto labeling. But in my case I just want to look at the site and group settings, and those are over here. And these are the settings which are used for the sensitivity labels. So first of all, I can set my access. It's either public, private or none. So when the site or Teams environment or Office group is being labeled with this label, it will automatically select the privacy setting of that site. I can also have the external sharing settings set over here, and what I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes is the unmanaged device settings. So I have full access, no problem, you can work with the site as you're used to. I have web access only or block access, and those are the two labels I'm going to show you how those are, how that's going to work. So I've set these labels. Again, this one blocks access, this one only allows web only access. So let me just take a look at my sites, and I've got two little sites over here. First of all, I've got a human resources site, which is over here, and that site doesn't have any labels attached. I've got a demo site as well over here, and that has the Team Confidential label. Again, that's the web-based only. And I've got a where is it, over here I've got an Internet Home website, and that site has the most strict label, the Scottish demonstration label, which is to block access. So just take a look at the human resources first. Well, over here it is, no problem, doesn't have any label set as yet. If I want to, I can set that, and let's just take the most restrictive right now. Let's save it. Oh wow. Well, not quite a surprise, is it? I just set that site to block access from an unmanaged device, and I'm working from an unmanaged device. So yeah, keep remembering that. The same goes for this site over here. As you might remember, I've got an unmasked mole site, and if I try to access that, nope, won't be able to because of organizational policies. The demo site I can access, and here you see the label Team Confidential, which was the one I configured for web-only access. So you'll see it doesn't allow you to download, print, or sync. So let's see how that works from a document perspective. Here it is. Over here it still has doesn't allow you to download, print, or sync. Okay, no problem. Just let me open a document. Well, some credit card information over there. It's still loading. Yeah, all right, we've got a ribbon, and again here doesn't allow you to download, print, etc. So this is well, the one of the more restrictive, but not most restrictive, because that was the one we had over here. Okay, so from a user's perspective, this is very easy. You go to the site, you see what kind of restrictions there are. If I go back to the site, it will show you the bar itself, and there it goes again. And from a management perspective, it's basically just as easy. You can set your labels and keep in mind what kind of restrictions you want to add to specific sensitivity of your containers. You can have a highly confidential site, which can now be labeled highly confidential, and the information in those in that site can be labeled as well highly confidential. So it's a the puzzle is becoming a complete puzzle. So that's very good, very good. But from an admin perspective, there is one snag. You still need to have one thing in place to get this to work, and that's a conditional access policy, because all the things you just saw, the marking on the top and the restrictions, are being placed by Azure AD Conditional Access. So let's just go there and look at a conditional access policy, and I'll discard this because I didn't change anything. Here we have my conditional access policies. Not too much. I do have one specific for my sensitivity labels, and it's a very simple conditional access rule. I've got it set up for all users. I've got one app included, which is SharePoint Online. I just want this conditional access policy to work for SharePoint Online only. I've got one condition. I could have skipped this one if I wanted, but I have a condition which is based on the client app. So if you go to SharePoint Online with a browser and you're in the specific assignment group, then it will check if there's any conditions to what needs to be applied, and the conditions which need to be applied are over here. And I use one which is still kind of new, and that's the app enforced restrictions. App enforced restrictions are basically the Azure AD Conditional Access will leave it up to the platform which is being accessed to set the restrictions. And in my case, I've got SharePoint Online. SharePoint Online has a label attached, or the site collection has a label attached to it. And if we look at that label is being assigned to the site collection. It's kind of a metadata field for that site collection. If you want to get into the details, there's PowerShell. There's a PowerShell commandlet which allows you to enumerate all the labels and your conditional access settings per site collection. Just go to my blog, and there's a description for that PowerShell commandlet as well. So by setting this conditional access policy, I basically say to conditional access, if a user which is in this group comes to SharePoint Online, which is over here, and he or she is using a browser, then check if SharePoint Online enforces specific restrictions. And in my case there are, because some of those sites have labels and those labels enforce the restriction. So in a nutshell, that's basically how it works. Again, the puzzle is coming more and more complete in regards to information protection. You can now protect your content which is in SharePoint Online. You can even auto-apply labels to SharePoint Online data at rest. And you have your site collections, labels, and conditional access policies working together. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be posting a new one quite soon. Thank you.